All right, it's 5 p.m. We're going to have to call this meeting to order. All right, we'll begin with a quick roll call. Mr. Barton here, Dr. Bentley here, Mr. Stricker here, Cap here, Dr. Metz here. Everybody's here. Everybody stand for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have one delegation, but as the president, I can move agenda items around. I like to start with student recognition first. Since we have a lot of students here, so Dr. Bennett, we'll begin with student recognition.
Right, we have many student recognitions here tonight, and the first up is Young Writers. And this has been a push for Gilmer County Schools to improve in English and language arts and proficiencies. And these students are at the very top of their game when it comes to writing stories. Each one of these students submitted a story, it was graded, and I'm going to go down through the list and read off the winners. And if we can have our folks come up and see anybody take pictures. Can we do that, Lisa? And we'll get your picture taken and try to get it sent out on the website. First, the certificate says, Certificate of Excellence awarded to Emily Frederick in recognition of outstanding achievements and accomplishments for first place in the Young Writers Competition. Story name, Little Cupid. Next is Certificate of Excellence awarded to Lacey Hutchinson. First place Young Writers winner. Story name is Field Trip. Certificate of Excellence awarded to Hunter Workman in recognition of outstanding achievements and accomplishments. First place Young Writer winner. Story name is Basketball. Certificate of Excellence awarded to Jesse Jones in recognition of an outstanding achievement and accomplishment. First place Young Writers winner, A Moment to Reminisce. Certificate of Excellence awarded to Asha Hess in recognition of an outstanding achievement and accomplishment for first place young writer winner, Echo of the Cursed Mansion. Certificate of Excellence awarded to Dustin Harper in recognition of outstanding achievements and accomplishments for first place young writers with a story named The Last Stand. All right, the next is the 9th through 12th grade math field day participation awards. And first up, we have a certificate of recognition awarded to Remington Huffman for participating in the regional math field day held March 1st, 2025. Certificate of recognition awarded to Katie Martin for participation in regional math field day held March 1st, 2025. Certificate of recognition awarded to Rebecca Spears for participating in regional math field day held on March 1st, 2025. Certificate of recognition awarded to Jeremiah McCune for participating in regional math field day held March 1st, 2025. Certificate of recognition awarded to Preston Greenlee for participating in math field day held March 1st, 2025. The next set of awards are Poetry Out Loud. And it says that this is a certificate of recognition awarded to Paisley Hamrick for participating in Poetry Out Loud February 28th in Charleston, West Virginia. This is for the Governor School attendees. Certificate of recognition awarded to Jenna Smith for attending Governor Schools of West Virginia in the summer of 2024. Certificate of recognition awarded to Adelaide Chapman for attending Governor School of West Virginia, summer of 2024. Certificate of recognition awarded to Nicholas Clauser for attending Governor School of West Virginia, summer of 2024. Certificate of recognition awarded to Joe Carter for attending Governor School of West Virginia in the summer 2024. This next award is for our Hobie attendees. Certificate of recognition awarded to Anna Mason for attending the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program in June of 2024. Certificate of recognition awarded to Jenna Smith for attending Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program, June of 2024.
I'm not deserving of anything,
I don't have JT photo on.
yes, in every picture. He's just back there cheesing.
Certificate of recognition awarded to Kendra Fox for attending Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program. Certificate of recognition awarded to Rebecca Spears for attending Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program, June 2024. So next up is a set of awards for a competition that's very prestigious for our students that participated in health occupation. I'm going to have our Career Center folks come up and help me present this award. And I'd like for you guys to talk just a little bit about the award and what this means, so everybody else understands it.
So we reopened our HOSA chapter, which is Future Health Professionals, and it is for high school students across, it's actual international. But for West Virginia, we had our state conference, and the students that are going to be interviewed shortly participated in creative problem solving. They are given a real world issue, given a certain amount of time to debate that, to determine how to discover the solution, and then they have to do an 8-minute presentation in front of the judge. And they won first out of 3 other high schools.
Awesome.
And how many people?
This year at Marshall.
So,
So we were honored, this was the first group competition that our Career Center has ever won, and pretty awesome honor and a great competition and a great experience to learn those hands, skills, and training, and the future of the students who participated. We're very proud of our team. On top of that, all 4 of the team were all Gilmer students. So very proud of that as well. And we also had a first place state champion for sports medicine, and he was a Calhoun County senior. We're very proud of these firms and the chapter for their accomplishments.
so with that recognition, I'd like to go ahead and read out what the award says. It says Marshall University Health Occupation Students Association. The first one of these is first place 2025 creative problem solving. This certificate is awarded to Gypsy Hoss. In Marshall University Health Occupation Student Association first place 2025 creative problem solving. This certificate is awarded to Hannah Jones.
Yeah.
Gary never likes to take pictures. Again, Marshall University Health Occupation Students Association, first place 2025 creative problem solving. This certificate is awarded to Lindsay Bush.
I think I got several good ones. Yeah, I did.
Marshall University Health Occupation Student Association, first place 2025 creative problem solving. This certificate is awarded to Ava Kennedy. And Marshall University Health Occupation Students Association, first place 2025 creative problem solving. This certificate is awarded. No, we've already done. Okay, that's all you guys. Give those students a big round of applause. Next, we'd like to recognize a very prestigious award, and we're getting a lot of these awards out. We've been winning a lot, so it's very good to be standing on this end of it. But this goes to an all-state high school band. In order to get this award, you have to stand out, and there is, you know how many band members there are in West Virginia. High school marching band to get all-state is a very big honor. So this award reads, All-State High School Band, 7th Chair, 2025. This certificate is awarded to Morelli Madrana. And our final award, we had a very big night not too long ago in Charleston, West Virginia with our Lady Titan basketball team. And we'd like to recognize them and come up and present the board, the actual trophy. And you want to say a few words on it?
So as we're doing this, I just wanted to bring up, there's a lot of great things going on, and we are naming all kinds of awards right now. I'm pumped up. It is a great time to be a Titan. I'm selfish. I love it. I love that when we have all these students coming in here, and it goes for this as well. But the biggest thing is what you don't see. You see on those ball courts, on those games of Dr. Minnie and I butchering some ball games when we announced it. I'll speak for myself. You see the basketball, but what you don't see is what's taking place in the classrooms. And those students are phenomenal students. These students are hard workers. I know we did a cumulative GPA on this, was over at 4.0. They are doing a great job. We are proud of them. This stuff is, and we talked about this in the gymnasium on the day of this. This isn't just a thing for these players I had to thank this group, and because there's a lot of memories. We get congratulations, but there's a lot of memories made. It may be Mr. Payne and I getting bus sick on that bus on a day there. Or I watched we joke about it. My son, I had to pull him back off the court at the end of the game. That's something that I got experience with my son. This group is responsible for a lot of memories, and a lot of memories are going to stick around a long, long time. Part of that is because we're going to put a lot of stuff out here, and not only your guys' stuff, but everybody's, everybody's being honored. We're going to start getting some things displayed out here. But wanted just to thank you guys for that. But we appreciate you, and you guys have done a lot for our school, the community. But like I said, there's a lot of memories made from that stretch that you guys put on there, and we appreciate you for it.
I know that the board members want to show their support, and this is going to be one of many things that we continue to do. In the last day, I've been asked to bring all of our student athletes and coach to the West Virginia legislature and recognize them in front of the West Virginia legislature. And we hopefully plan to do that April 7th if everything works out. But I would like to get Coach Chapman up here and allow her to give a very lengthy speech. But I'd like to get Coach Chapman and the girls to come up and get the board members to stand up and get a big picture and a big celebration, being able to present the trophy. We present it to the high school and get it presented in front of the board of education.
It's up here.
Just make sure Monday. Yes, absolutely. You guys jump in there and.
You gonna do it? Okay.
And you guys have.
Where do you think?
Way back, somebody had a people, yeah.
Can we go around the
All right, ready? 1, 2, 27, 22.
That's not how many
You
pictures.
get that time?
We really appreciate you guys' hard work. Give her one more round of applause.
How did Amy get out of that speech?
I don't know. I hope I got a couple of those.
Okay, good. I cleared up the room.
Need to leave, or we'll go to the
They do, like, everyone go home.
I told you, I'm ready.
They said at LSIC.
Yes. Are we doing an LSIC meeting? Yeah. That's what this is. Are you on the LSIC? Oh, what a man.
There's LSIC, I didn't see.
Next.
Should be next.
We're gonna do the delegation.
All right, we'll go ahead and get back to the meeting. Let's move back, up the agenda real quick. We do have one delegation, as Dean West. And you'll have 3 minutes to present where I up here about that part of the license at the wrong.
And I spoke to Dr. Manny a while back, and my concern was about the Gilmer County FFA sign that's at Lynn that you cannot read, it's dented at the top. And the Gilmer County High School Partners in Education sign that's out here in the parking lot that is not nice. And he has assured me he is looking into the FFA sign, he is in contact with the college of taking care of the Partners in Education sign. And I would like them to consider taking them down. They look bad, they are bad, so let's get a good impression. I thank him for the time he has taken. End of conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, that will move us out of delegation and back into reports, for the Gilmer County High School LSIC presentation. I'll turn it back over to Mr. Fox.
All right, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. It still is a packed house right now. And we had, I think, a sign of what's coming right now and some of the presentations we're going to do. We have a lot of great things going on right now, and I'm not shy to say it, and I said it a second ago, it is a great time to be a Titan. Love being here. There's a lot of work we put into this, and we're putting a product out there. The county's going to be extremely excited. As you guys see this, it's going to take work, and going to introduce a lot of individuals here in just a second that's an integral part of that, and that is our LSIC team. And if you're here and I call you, you just stand up. Those members are Avon McHenry, Ben Huffman, Brian Gross, Sherry West, Darlene Somerville, Mr. Jacob Persinger, Jake Yoakum, Jim Snyder, Kelsey Hickman, Kim Frommeyer, Krista Smith, our student council president, Paisley Hammer, and Heather Coleman, and Eric Squires. We can give these individuals a round of applause. Things going at the school level, and they are involved drastically with everything we're doing right now, to the point where I'm going to put Mr. Yoakum is going to be on, he's going to lead this thing today. I'm just going to do it. I'm just a member of this team, so I'm going to do my portion here in a few moments. But Mr. Yoakum is going to lead this and get this thing going here. Anytime you have questions. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for being here.
Okay, so a lot of good things are happening, and they're not just happening for one organization. They're happening for a few organizations, and they're also happening in the classroom. We've got Ms. Jones and Ms. Bell, who's going to present on mastery prep, which is, they know more about it than I do because they actually deal with it. We've got Mr. Fox with the Meat Lab, and animal processing. We've got student center, the Christmas Arts Extravaganza, and the Top Titan that Paisley's going to talk about. You have the Steam Tank Dinner that was hosted just last week, the week before. And Ms. Barker's going to present on that. The CTE data will be presented by Mr. Payne, and Mr. Fox will present the school data. Real quick, I'm going to add this, it's not on the agenda. The National Honor Society just hosted a blood drive before break. We hit our all-time record of 31 donations, and that was both student and community that was able to do it. But I want to share that. This is Bell and Ms. Jones on mastery prep.
So, yeah, we have a couple students that we want to talk first to give like their perspective on, first of all, you guys know what mastery prep is, correct? It's the program that we're using to help prepare us for SAT. It's new, so Brooklyn, you want to start off like over here? Okay.
So I was happy to come here and talk about mastery prep because this program has helped me to prepare for my upcoming SAT in May. In order to get college credit for honors English next year, I'm required to get a certain score on the SAT. However, only the few SATs offer the sophomore. This means I have to go to a different testing location to take the test. Mastery Prep has helped me get ready for this by giving me a study plan based on where I need the most improvement. The first step of the program is a pretest that scored our lowest to best assessment category. It then works us through personalized lessons, some where reading include misplaced modifiers, arguments, and quantitative information. The lessons walk you through questions that are just like ones on the test and give detailed explanations for long answers. After completing all the lessons, there is a post-assessment to show grades. Overall, Mastery Prep has helped me prepare for the test, and I'm sure it will improve my scores.
Okay, and then Rebecca's going to talk to us a little bit about the boot camp that the juniors participated in March.
Yeah, in the normal boot camp, we learned about how to actually take the test, professionally, like what to look for, like those questions asked for, and everything. And like at the end, we had a little like review, like had a little game, which like helped us like actually get up and move it before the set out like all day. The only downside about it is like mostly English. That we only had about 2 hours for math. The whole thing's basically like English and something like downside.
So I want to show you just a little bit. This is what the students see. This is a demo account that Mastery Prep gave us. So this is what they see, and when they start a test, it simulates the SAT. Go ahead. So it looks just like the SAT. It times them in everything. The one downside of math is the SAT allows them to use the Desmos calculator and has the formula sheet. When they take the math on here, it didn't give them math. That was the only downside of the math part, and I'm too short to hit the back button. Once they take the test, so I took the math test really fast, so don't judge my scores. It gives them a study plan. So you see, I made a 200. I did this in front of the kids because I wanted them to see that picking C every time does not necessarily work. You can actually, they can go in and review their tests. They can look at insights. It shows me which part of math, like I didn't very good on geometry trig. So it shows them all that. They can actually look at their test questions and see what they did wrong, what they did right, and go over that. But what I want to show you really fast is the study plan. It gives them, based on how they did, from top to bottom. So when I took this, the thing I needed to work on the most was applying exponents. So it gives them little lessons and little short videos that explains things and gives them practice questions. So it goes from the thing I need to work on most to the thing I need to work on the least. So this is what we've been working on. We took this digital SAT in January, and they've been working on this study plan since then and hoping to strengthen the things that they need to work on most.
How, is this like what the test prep class was, or is this a little math class that you're using it?
We're using this in math and in test prep. I know Mrs. Conrad's been using this a lot in test prep for both English and math, but we've also been doing this in our individual math and English classes. And I wanted to show you real quick, and you can pass this around. Let me go back for you, Mrs. Bell. Yeah. When they took the boot camp, they got these workbooks. Now, we just got them today. So if you want to look through, it gives them test taking strategies and the little mini tests to take with the answers. Like if you want to see what they're going to get, they should have gotten the boot camp. There's a little bit of mix up. Got those today to get them, so we can use those. And I think Mrs. Bell, once it loads, use the teacher side. That was what the students see. And she's going to show you a little bit about what the kids see.
Okay, well, this is doing its thing. I'll just say my spiel. We're supposed to use this as a supplement, not our entire curriculum. And I started out right before the PSAT, doing it every Monday. I was they're like, oh, please do that. But they saw that, we meant business and that we're invested in it and that they should be, we talk about how for those that plan to go to college or any kind of training, that the better their score, the better the money will be. So this is what I see when I get into it, and we click the insights. Now there is a little caveat. I have
My homeroom, which is an 11th grade class, is in. But this shows the scores overall for just the English part. And for freshmen, this is a test that's made for juniors. So my 9th graders and 10th graders all took the benchmark, and freshmen need a 410, and sophomores need a 430. So I was pleasantly surprised, and you can look student by student, which I won't for confidentiality, or class by class. So I'll show you my 2 honors classes, and then I'll show you some others. So this is my honors 9 class, and they have a 474, and they needed a 410, so we were happy with that. And the time stressed them out because it's the first time test they ever have had ever, I think. But they did great. I mean, I was very pleasantly, I didn't expect them to do horrible, but I think they did really well. And then let me find the other honors class. So,
Yeah.
this is the sophomore honors class, class average of 530. Every single kid in this class got benchmark on the first time out. I also, just so you see, my overall score is a little bit, I have the beginning of the alphabet 11th grade homeroom, so they're champs too. So they did really well. And you can look at specific kids, and then here's where we get to review the test. So if I'm looking at everybody like I am now, and I wanted to go in with the kids and show them what they did well on, what they maybe could have done better on, it has the question, the very one that they had, and then it shows the correct answers, the wrong answers, and what percent of my kids picked each answer. So if like they missed one and a big majority of them picked the wrong answer, like 86% might have picked C, then we could talk about why that might be. That I think will come into play. And a lot of the actual book content, I don't do yet because they're saving that for Mrs. Yoder, since those kids are the ones that are actually taking the SAT. But if you, let's see, their study plans look like what Ms. Jones said. Let me show you where they are with those mastery lessons. And this shows like of all the kids, how far they've gotten with it. And you can break it on down. You can do a big PDF that is this huge that is a little bit overwhelming, but at least, we've got data, everyday data. You can download the report pretty easily. And then if you wanted to use some of it in class, they have, like, the study plan is spelled out, and then the curriculum, I'm not in there, but the daily practice. Say if I saw that like 75% of the kids didn't do well on a comma, I can click on that and pick exercise 1, and we could do that as a problem of the day together. You can pick how much time you want them to have, and then it goes away, and we could read it together. They could read it by themselves and look at all of the answers, talk about the right answers, the wrong answers, and why that might be. So, and it's quick, so you don't have to spend loads of time on it. And then I believe down in here, there is also, like the books that Melissa was holding up are here, digital. So if the kids wanted to see, like, this is a student workbook for the reading, it's there, and you can look all the way through it. So it guides them through, and it's kind of what we talked about with the boot camp. Not just the content, but how to like judge your time so you don't freak out, and how to pick out that answer that's definitely the incorrect one, and not to second guess yourself, and just little test taking tips. And the first thing that the lady showed us the day that we went to the boot camp was about lifetime earnings based by education level. And that was an eye opener for some of them. And the higher the degree, the higher the life expectancy, which I was a little, I see that. Yeah. Yeah, we did that in the morning when we weren't there yet. So some, connections for the kids.
And then, it brings it back to them, like, why is it important to you? And some of them are like, it's not, I'm gonna be pipeline. But, this is how we judge them. They know that. This is how we're judged. And we're just trying to give them the tools and working on it, showing we think it's important, so maybe they will too, and we'll do better.
It's the master prep, can you start that in ninth grade or?
We have been, yes, because, like those scores you were seeing are my ninth graders and 10th graders.
I wondered, one of the girls, Brooklyn or Rebecca mentioned about access to the SAT
Uh-huh.
as a 10th grader. Can those 10th graders take it with our juniors?
I was told no.
I think it's because the state requires juniors, the state only gives us junior tests.
We don't have, well, I mean, we're not required to do the PSAT, to do anything for them.
Is there any way to make that happen? I just remember, because my
That
girls
is a good
did
question.
I tried,
Did the
I mean, I
ACT.
asked, but and there's even some waivers that
Probably
doesn't,
have to be,
The closest location for SAT is Braxton County.
and that's where the one is.
well, see, I remember Eddie taking care of it. Craigsville,
Yeah,
or
it's
trailer or
changed.
something.
I mean,
You know,
I
if
don't
we
know
could
if there's
improve-
some way we could maybe, like,
We could improve
Make this
access.
a
even
testing
if it's a
location.
Saturday, make it a
Yeah.
test location. Yeah.
And we could become a certified testing location.
Maybe somehow
Look into that.
Yes, yeah, because
space
that
it
was,
to where if juniors wanted to take it for a second time,
Yeah,
or sophomores wanted to
Like
take
a
it for a
weekend.
first time, as because there's no harm in taking one
No,
time.
there's not.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's right.
So.
They have to take it,
We're
yeah.
offering a course. You have to say you gotta have this, and then we're not.
I agree, yeah. But
And I could explore that. I don't know if SAT themselves, because they offer it in Braxton County, because they have to hire people. It's through them. They hire people and so.
they have like certain sites.
They have certain sites. But we can explore that, because both our 10th graders, and I tell you, we have a lot of seniors that read this too. Scholarship opportunities and things.
You know, schedule it to where it's like, where they could pay
Like
a second
after,
time,
yeah.
or they could, something in between the offer.
And I,
College.
Right.
Again, ACT is
Back when.
yeah, that's where I have it, okay.
I mean, I could work that, I could talk to them too, because, I think that, that might be a conversation with Wayne, because it's a good recruitment tool. You got all these local kids going to see the campus to take their SAT, so they see everything.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about, pros and cons kinds of things with it. One of the things that I think is really good is that it shows them the different types of questions they'll see on the real thing. And it doesn't just, like, if they'll listen to all the videos, you kind of have to hound them and make sure that, because they're a first video, then a question, and then there's another video, and if they're sliding.
If they slide halfway over, they can skip.
So, that one, the second one tells them why the right answer is right and why the wrong answers are wrong. So that's where the learning part would come in. Sometimes there are glitches, and it's not us, because I've had TJ come and check, and we did speed tests and things. It's on their end where, like, the videos, they'll come up like around here, and they'll just chicken tomato, and it doesn't let them click when it's shaky. And so there are a few glitches with the actual program, and we thought that the test was adaptive, and the lessons are, but the test.
Yeah, that's one thing that's different, like, the digital SATs on Mastery Prep are not adaptive. Like, I watched my kids as they took the first one, and that second half, they had the exact same questions at the exact same time.
But the real SAT
is adaptive. So that one kind of goes.
I mean, like, if they get a problem, probably then they get a different
Yes.
batch or.
So the actual SAT, they have 2 modules for each, and depending on how they score with module 1, depends on the questions they'll get in module 2. So if they do really well in module 1, they'll get more
Harder
difficult
questions.
questions. If they don't do as well, they don't get as.
Yeah,
I do too. Yes, me too.
Chisel.
No, well,
But we're hoping.
yeah, this helps. We're working on it. There's scores.
What were your best? Did you get those?
For this mastery prep, they were right around mastery. Now, I only have a handful of juniors, and we didn't test seniors. I have all the seniors. My handful of juniors are really good, but they're taking honors classes.
Well, like,
So-
like for the English, we don't want fifth grade, they're in math.
I don't have access because I don't teach 19th, 10th graders, so I can't.
And I can't see that.
Yeah.
we can get that, and get those numbers for sure.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Busy with the Christmas.
Hi everyone, I'm Paisley Hamrick. If you don't know me, I am the student council president and the LSIC student representative here at Gilmer County High School. I have a couple of little topics to present on for this evening's meeting. First being our first ever here at Gilmer County High School, our Christmas Arts Extravaganza. This was the first ever time we've done it, like I said, and it was really an outstanding opportunity for people who aren't particularly interested in any sport of any sort, to show our community and everyone within it what they really are capable of doing, even if they're not very athletically inclined, like myself. So our music programs, our dance class, and which one? Oh, theater. That's the one. They were all able to showcase different segments of arts for one entire presentation, so that it wasn't a bunch of different events that different people got to see, so everybody just got to see all of it, and all of it was able to be appreciated. So here's a little video. Where's that? So the music programs, there was a bunch of different bands that were able to showcase their talent. We had the middle school band, beginning band, the choir especially, and then our high school concert band. And they were able to showcase all of their hard work, and because they were just able to do what they love, learn different sheet music for the holiday season, and really showcase that in their community. The dance class, I'm not very involved with dance, but I know that they did work hard and their performance was spectacular. And then, the theater program, we actually wrote the play ourselves. So that was also very fun. We Went down there to the college for 2 days and we were able to practice down there and get familiar with that stage and everything. And we just had a good old time, made some amazing memories with each other, and we'll never ever forget it, for sure. We were really able to goof off. And then the next thing. The next thing that I'll present on is the new Top Titan program. The Top Titan program is a great way to recognize and reward some students within our school who work hard to maintain good attendance, behavior, grades, and overall reputation. So this is a little bit of information on how this recognition is decided. So the teachers will nominate a student from the grade levels that they teach, and they can nominate one student for the month from all of their classes for each grade level. The students nominated must have no more than 3 unexcused absences that month. They have to have no discipline referrals and no tardies, and the office will double check all of that to make sure that it's a valid nomination. And then the top Titan for the month will be based on submissions made during the previous month. So October's would have been made based off of September's submission data and stuff. So for the submissions to be considered, they must be submitted by the last day of each month, and the winner would be announced during the second week. So for November, I was the senior nomination. So I was awarded with a super awesome, comfortable t-shirt, very high quality, says Top Titan, so I get to live with that for the rest of my life, which is amazing, by the way. I'm very honored. I was awarded with positive recognition, of course, and approval to leave class 2 minutes early to go to lunch. Sandwich there rolls around, I was right there. Well, the teacher, we need to hand out for you guys here. Well, I need to go out to Paisley because she's super entertaining. But I'll do my best. That's slide. No, that was their budget. I just made one slide where we had a deal with like Paisley did. But so we had a Steamtacular event, the Friday, like Mr. Ridley said, right before spring break. We picked that day because we were really working as a county to improve our student attendance. So that was originally one of our target attendance days. And I feel like it did work because we only had 32 kids absent that day. They were really excited, and I feel like Paisley could speak a little bit she can speak a little bit on how the kids were actually pretty excited about the day. There was lots of talking leading up to the event. So the little handout I made for you, first a little infographic with some numbers. So our Steamtacular event had 30 stations. And if you do not know what STEAM is, that's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And we always like to include the arts because you cannot do the others really without the art part, okay? So we had 30 stations. We had multiple stations from each column. We had 50 volunteers. Those are student volunteers, teacher volunteers. We had people from the college come help us. And then we had 7 different donors that provided either just like a blank check to us pretty much and allowed us to get 54 prizes, all STEAM-related prizes that we gave out during the day. And we had about 350 kids participating that day, because again, taking away the 32 that were not here, and then all of our students that helped. The cool thing about our students that were helping, we had about an hour and a half in between our middle school and our high school session, and they did lots of the activities, and I thought that was pretty cool to see them. They didn't have to participate, and they did anyway. But to get all the kids to participate, we have to give them some type of an incentive, because while kids might participate in your class if they're getting a grade on the STEAM activity, they might not necessarily want to do, 15 of them in an hour and a half time. So CIS came up with some different rewards. So if you look at the second little paper I gave you, this is what every kid got when they came into the Steamtacular event. And so when they would go to, say, a science section, once they completed whatever activity they were doing, they'd get a stamp. And then when you got 3 stamps in your column, you could take that to the CIS reward station, and they got things like cotton candy, popcorn, ice cream, popsicles,
really good, and this is, and flavored water, okay? That was a hit, which was really funny, so we just gave them some great packets, and they were really excited. But so once they completed their entire card, they got to put their name on it, and they turned that in, and that's how they got entered into the drawings. But I just put one slide with some pictures of our events. Mr. Black's got involved, he got up there and got put into a human bubble. That seems to be a real big hit, we do that in the center. And I think Miss Bell, yeah. I think I put that one up, but I think we have a really good picture of Miss Bell. Some of my pictures were not coming through clear. They got her fully encased in the bubble. And so it was a really fun day. The kids are super active and they participate. Oh yeah, Mason's got the school bubble pictures, Miss Chapman. But yeah, it's fun, like the teachers come down and they participate in the activities just the same as the kids do, and they get their popcorn, they're and have a good time. So like I said, it was a pretty successful event. It's the second year we've done it, and hopefully we'll just keep doing it every year. They get a little bigger each year. So that's all I got for you. Thank you.
Well, while he's putting that up, I tried to pick 3 kids that you don't know because they're not diehard FFA members. And they were really excited about this, and I asked them about it today, and every one of them, I got the same reaction. Oh, I guess being spring break and Monday after spring break. So I don't have 3 kids. All right, so this year though, I'm just gonna be very brief. We processed 47 pigs, 4 beef, 2 goats, and there were a bunch of other projects that the community brought us. Somebody from down in the Charleston area, they brought us 20 bacons. They grow like X amount of pigs every year, and they sell the pig live, and then they take it to the slaughterhouse for the customer. Slaughterhouse no longer did bacon, so they brought us the bacon this year. We cured it, and they come and got it. We've done deer bologna for Mr. Yoder. He'll already like pack it up in a casing and everything and bring it to us, and we'll just smoke it for him. So we've done a lot of cool projects. Both of the animal processing classes, if we had a pig hanging in the cooler right now, and this is like what I wanted to happen, I could tell them to go get to work, and they can pull it out and do everything to it. And the only question they're going to ask me is, what does the customer want? How thick do the pork chops do they want? How many do they want of them? So I was really pleased with that. I'll be honest, I'm still trying to find a balance as to, how much time to spend in the animal processing. A lot of classes spend a lot more time than just their curriculum in the animal processing class, but they're also learning a lot there too. So we did stop taking custom jobs in February to focus on hams and bacons. Now I've got the kids, we just got a sausage stuffer the other day. We've got some supplies and some casing, and we're going to try and work on some new skills, such as actually making case sausages, looking at different ways to cure hams and bacons. We'd like to find some faster ways to cure hams and bacon so that when people have a processing job for us, we can turn around a ham and a bacon in about a week. So right now for the ham and bacon program, those hams take around 100 days a piece. So we just don't even offer hams for the general public. And then I'm just going to show you a few things that we're doing. We got an awesome Hobart label scale this year, mainly because we were having trouble putting labels on products. The meat inspector, who I will point out, the meat inspector comes quarterly, and he's been very happy with us this year. He's never not been happy with us, but last year when we were brand new, he had a lot more questions and suggestions, and this year he just kind of shows up and really just has a conversation and leaves. So all of our reports, when they're not asking you questions about what you're doing, that's great. That means they're pretty happy. But anyway, so we got this so that we could put a really nice label on products that met the inspections thing. And that one picture didn't show up. I wanted to show you a picture of the label, but I guess it's not going to show up. Anyway, the cool thing about this is I had a couple kids sit down and we made a list of all the cuts in each animal. This is just our beef one right here. And the kids actually programmed this scale for the PLU codes. So when we're processing things, the kids have these code sheets right above the scale. They know what it is, they know what the cut is. They punch in the code and it gives a really nice label with a packed on date. It has not for sale, real nice and big. It's got a little FFA emblem on it. And it's a very professional looking job. And it kind of re-quizzes the kids each time as to what product they're packaging. But like I said, it was a really awesome learning experience for the kids that programmed this. Because they just kind of took over and did that. And then I guess my pictures, I had problems with stuff all day. I wanted to show you some pictures of that goat. There's the venison bologna. These are some really nice pork chops. You don't see pork chops like that every day. That's one thing about doing custom work is people bring you product that's really way above what you can find in a grocery store. And this pork was really dark and well marbled. And we were cutting those up and I just stopped for a second and laid them out. And me and the kids had a conversation about what that was and how nice that was. I sure hope. Oh, they don't have it. Yeah, the best picture. I have a picture, some of you might have seen on Facebook. One of my students raised a steer for life. And this student and his family, they show all over the place. They're very well versed in raising beef. And if you really want to raise a steer, you've got to sink a lot of money into it. Like if you want to get top notch. And they brought this thing in, and it probably should have been slaughtered like a month beforehand, but we weren't in school yet. So they bring it in, and I've got a picture of the girls in one of my intro to ag classes. They're processing the steaks, and these porterhouse steaks are as big as their heads. So I've got like 7 girls holding up porterhouse steaks, and they're literally as big as their heads. And the kids really enjoyed that. But that is everything I have. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, we're CTE. Okay, I'm going to thank what Mr. Cox says. We have 2 CTE programs within our building. We have the animal processing and ag sciences, and then we also have business administration with Lord Chapman's. So we're going to get into it, and I will get into the numbers just a little bit, which is where I come into play a little bit. So in ag business systems, this year, Mr. Cox has 14 completers. And that is wonderful. The more completers we have in a program, the more the state likes us, the more federal funding and Perkins money we get to draw down from the state and the federal portions of it. So I am a happy camper with that. In plant systems, we have 2. Plant systems is kind of an odd one for Mr. Cox. Some years I have 2, some years I have 6. The majority of his does come from the solid ag business. It's the majority of his completers. But he has dual completers. So these 2 will also complete in the ag business systems, and I do get to count them twice. So I get, for funding purposes, I do get to count them twice in the funding. Yeah, so the number of students drug tested, we do have a drug testing policy within the CTE, just like the Career Center does. They have to do drug testing as well. For the Albert Yawning Scholarship, all the students have to go through a random drug test each year. I drug tested all of Mr. Cox's completers this year, and he had 16 of them, and I am happy to say they drug tested. We had to test twice a year, and all 16 passed. Not one problem. Now, that is a non-punitive drug test, too. I will have to say that. Even if it does come back positive, we are required to be supportive, and we have to give them resources and programs and things to do and help with it. It is not set up to be a punitive style, a gotcha system within the school system. And it does not affect them completing in that CT area at all. So like if they would get caught such as, let's say with Mr. Cox, if I would have one, they do have to set out X amount of days from running a piece of machinery or working with the knives and things within his classroom, or if he's working with the welder that day, or one of the saws. The same things. Boy, that thing's touchy. Okay, so estimated numbers I've gotten in at for next year is I've estimated around 24 computers, so we're doubling. So we are growing, and I look for Mr. Cox's program to we're growing. And I look for it to take off and grow with the addition of the meat lab and his addition of his programs are growing. The kids do love the competitions. We're getting ready to take off in competition within, what is it, 2 weeks? He takes off and goes to land judging for nationals. And I'm hoping we bring back another national, I want championship with them too. I'm greedy, sorry. I've waited long enough. So, but now, so we're going to go 24 students within. So we're going to go next with his processing. I had him, and this is the numbers he's gave me: 3 cows, 46 pigs, 24 chickens, and 2 goats. Now, I do know tomorrow, Miss Charlene is going to bring in 12 more chickens. So we're going to have chicken murders out back for him. Just what's going to occur here. Okay. Okay. Estimated number 24. I have that. Am I going backwards?
You're pushing the forwards, but it's going backwards.
What? Mr. Fox, you may need the things for me.
Or just do the old-fashioned thing and push the arrow.
Here we go. Okay, sorry. So, we'll go into business finance. Now, business finance this year, I'll give you a little heads up. It didn't have completers this year. But we have what's called concentrators. And I'll have to explain that a little bit. So, concentrator versus a completer is a concentrator is one who has taken an intro course and a specialized course. And an intro course such as Intro to Finance and Accounting 1. And we do have several students that are ready. And I have made sure that next year we do have completers, and in our master schedule for next year, those courses are both first semester and second semester, so they have the option to complete. Part of the issue with this course, with the business courses, is this changed soon after I got here. So we're in the middle of changing from one concentration to another. The state changed the programs and changed the requirements. So we're dealing with the change right now. So concentrators, we have 7 right now. And hopefully by next year, we're going to have 7 completers. And that's a good starting point. And I hope to grow that. And then we'll shift to middle school. Now, middle school's interesting. In order for us to hit our metric, much like our report card that we get for the county, we have to have CTE in middle school. And that's where career tech in middle school comes into place at. And they have built, the state has, for us, Discover Your Future. And in our 7th and 8th grade students, we have placed them in this. This is on the State Department of Education website, and each one of these is a concentration. And under each one of these categories are multiple jobs and outlooks, but there's already pre-built lesson plans
and activities for the students. The teacher just has to go in to access this and work through with our students, and it's all free. And once our students take this for 9 weeks or a semester, choosing a teacher or our master schedule, we get that metric on our report card.
That's what they rotate through the 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's a rotation. Okay, so what I'm looking for kind of future is career work skills training, CWST. So right now, if I have a student that may have the option pathway, so let's say they are 17, they was behind in credits, they went to the Career Center, they managed to pass all of what we call the old school GED courses, and they completed a CTE area, such as carpentry or welding. Well, now they're finished at 17. And they're finished in December. They have the opportunity to come back and walk them back. Do I release them, or do I try to get them to do something else? So right now we release them, and they do have the opportunity to come back and walk in back. What I would like to do is, instead of releasing them, if they would secure a job, this is another CTE area that I can have completed. Is we used to have co-op here where you could release and go to work in the afternoon. If we can have, they can secure a job and they would allow us to come on site and observe them and have a teacher observe them and mark off their metric and complete a small program of study with this job that the state outlines. All of a sudden, we're completing another career education program within this building. So this is my push next.
Add it, incentivize.
Well, for them to be released is, right. So it's up in the air right now, it's not solid, but that is my next push. And I would like to. I've talked with the Career Center about it, I've talked to many of Mr. Fox about it. We would like to do something instead of just releasing them and saying, we'll see you in May.
Incentive might be that we make connections with area businesses
Ahead of time.
and have that pathway for them to go into a job at whatever, food land and, you know.
I know in the past, and he's usually here, he's on my LSIC committee, it's Eric Squires. I know I've had a student placement before at Harvard's, and it was just a couple hours a day, and then that student placement came back.
Well, see, I used to get students in my office, get team
As a placement.
for so many hours.
Mm-hmm. So that could be that future pathways, if when we secure it ahead of time.
You used to have a large number of kids in there to co-op work study, and then we probably, they got credit for it, but they were out in the real world. My wife, in Wood County, she had to go to DuPont or whatever place, and she had kids that were in electrical. And she had to go into DuPont and the plants and supervising. Kids got credit, and that kind of thing, and it's hands-on, so look good on the resume.
They still get credit. Now, they still have to complete, things such as interview skills, resume, a cover letter and things. There's still a small amount of curriculum that they will have to do in part before, it's equal parts, before they can go into it secure. But it's being strongly considered.
It's best incentive for the kids,
That's why.
to get paid.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying that they would get paid either way,
Right.
or the carrot works better than the stick, We can say, well, we will release you, that's what could we, give them to make them want to stay in that last semester and
I think
get a job.
I honestly think a lot of kids will sign up if this is available. I think they would sign up for this as a part of the
Yeah.
program to study.
If you look at, well, when Dr. Miller was sitting here, she was part of that program when it was designed. A lot of the dentists that are in the profession that went to school here, went to dentist offices. We have a couple that were lawyers that went to lawyers for that period of time, with what they thought they wanted to do. I mean, it works, and it's part of, in our case, it would be part of the program.
At that time, though, part of the problem with this is it does have to be a secure paying job.
Sure.
Any questions on the programs here? We have two. I'm trying to get a third one in. We're looking for a national championship in the next couple of weeks with land judging. We're on the right track.
You never have enough of it.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna finish up here with some data points. Mike just came up here and said, hey, we've gone past the time, I guess I was gonna check out. But there are some pieces here, and we actually, this is the PowerPoint, there's a few pieces I've taken off, because I didn't think they would be appropriate for the evening, but for our gate review. So when we have our gate review in February, a lot of these are the data points. We're fortunate enough to have somebody like Ms. West who goes and presents to you guys on all these data points. And continuously throughout the year gives you the updated information. But there are things that we have that are day-to-day that change drastically or not. But one is our attendance rate right now. Our chronically absent rate is under 20%. It's at 19.2. This is up a little bit. Part of that we've had basketball games. We've had these things going on. But that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good. That is down from last year. Our overall attendance is at 93%. So these numbers are improved from last year. And right now, sixth grade, they don't miss. They're here every day, and we have something planned for that group of students right now. We're going to celebrate them for being here. But just wanted to touch base on the attendance piece of this, because this is a day-to-day changing piece. And part of that is our targeted attendance dates. Working with Mrs. Workman, our community schools, and Mrs. Stoniker, we work all together, Mrs. Mason, all these days we plan ahead of time. We have these days and those crazy days where maybe before a ball game, these random days. We got billed out on one day, January 16th, I think that may have been a snow day, so so everybody got to be there on that. But these days are really impressive. For those dates, last week would have been one. Last Friday, I don't have that one on here updated yet because we went straight to break. But I'm excited to see that because I do think our spectacular made that attendance much better than what it would have been. Something else is our school data. This is a day-to-day change. We had nearly 800 referrals last year. We're 2 months out. We're only at 458 right now. So things are improving. Now, when I say that, the majority of these are disruptive, disrespectful conduct, which we have an approach right now, and we're bringing our West Virginia PBIS into, and this is going to be 6 through 12. It's going to take some time. I've received some information on this for a state conference for this. The goal is to get our PBIS team there and to set those school-wide expectations, what we can do. There are things that happen in sixth grade that, we got a sixth grader doesn't do, that a 12th grader doesn't do. As simple as wear a hat through the hallways, dress code. So those are things that we've got to, we want to make sure that we have a grasp on, and that PBIS state PBIS in our school is going to be very beneficial for that. And our area of focus is at middle school right now. That's typical. It is typical, and just very upfront about it. Our seventh graders have the most referrals in our school right now, so that is our focus area. The good news is we look at this data, we know the focus area, and we're putting a plan, and part of that is our PBIS plan to address it.
Do they do PBIs in elementary?
They do. Yep. And one of the last things I did want to touch base on, and I'll go back to this one, we talked, this is right after I started our MNSQT, was in the fall, and we discussed some things, but getting in there, we start looking in there, it's tough not to just sit there and keep looking at data, especially when that ultimately, at the end of the day, but, we say look at our mean score for our juniors this past year was 898. It's 6 points below the state average, which is it's improved from last year. Our reading and writing mean score was at 463, and that's 8 points below. Our math mean score was at 435, 3 points above, and all are up from last year at this time. So, that's something I do want to celebrate. And the last thing I just wanted to touch base was, I don't like to go to past Miss West Dixie things a lot, but we look at our SAT score from last year. That 8% in math, that 37% in ELA, and that 60% in science. Our SAT is April 8th, and our students are putting a lot of time into this, and I'm telling you, they're gonna put a product out there that's gonna make you guys happy. They're putting a lot of time and effort into this. Our teachers are putting a lot of time and effort into it. And it takes time to get there, but this group is working hard. And I'm excited. I can't wait till that data comes rolling in and we get to see those things, because it's going to be improved. You guys have any questions for me? Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody coming. If you guys ever need anything, please swing up, stop up, and check things out.
Mr. Fox, I think you that's this is beneficial, very informative, and kids and faculty are buying in. And that's what it takes for students to do a phenomenal job. It's not easy to get up in front, and that they would, you can tell somebody in theater class. But they were well informed, and you all did a tremendous job. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you all very much. If anybody needs to leave, they can. We're going to finish up the rest of the meeting.
Maybe next year's post office on thing.
Go back.
There's pork chops.
$1,000 on that
Those chops look good.
That's on me. I messed that up. I take full blame.
At least Tyson had snacks, JT. Come on. At least Tyson had snacks.
Agenda, and do the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 10th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of March 10th, 2025, regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the March 10th, 2025 regular meeting as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, I'm going to approval of minutes of the special calendar meeting of March 10th, 2025.
Motion to approve the minutes of the special calendar meeting of the March 10th, 2025.
Second. Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the special calendar meeting of March 10th, 2025. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, Ginger, I'll give you the floor for bills for payment.
Okay, I think we're pretty much have normal bills in there. You don't have any utilities because we gave this to you on the 24th. I'm concerned that we may not make it till the 15th on a few of the utilities just because of the timing with the board meeting. So we may have to pay a few and present those to you on the 15th at that meeting as well. But I don't see anything else unless anyone had questions. Pretty normal stuff.
Second.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve the bills for payment as presented. Further discussion or amendments to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, move us into new business. First new business item, approval of the 2025-2026 school calendar. Dr. Bennett.
I recommend making a motion that, you guys approve the 25-26 school calendar as presented, today and at the previous year.
So moved. Okay, there's a second? Second. All right, then properly moved and second.
Who are you writing down?
Sorry, we have a motion by Brett, second by.
Okay.
To approve the 2025-2026 school calendar as presented. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, going to approval of policy 8700, lactating employee. Dr.
Now, this policy's been out on review for 30 days, and believe it or not, we've received no comment. We might receive a few on that one. I recommend making a motion to approve policy 8700, lactating employees as presented.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve policy 8700, lactating employees as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Now we're on to approval of MOU with Gilmer County Health Department. Dr. Bennett.
This is one we've done in the past. It's a standard MOU that we've had, in conjunction with. It's an annual agreement for the purpose of cooperating and coordinating in emergency preparedness and response to public health emergencies and threats. I just recommend making a motion to approve the public health emergency facility memorandum of agreement with the Gilmer County Health Department.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to approve the public health emergency facility memorandum of agreement with the Gilmer County Health Department as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Approval of out-of-state field trip request for Gilmer County Elementary School Honor Club to Kennebec. Dr. Bennett.
This is the field trip they'll be taking the Honor Club to. They did an annual field trip last year to Columbus Zoo. This year they plan to go to Kennywood. Make the recommendation for you all to make a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip request for May 27th, 2025 for the Gilmer County Elementary School Honor Club to go to Kennywood.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the out-of-state field trip request for May 27th, 2025 at the Gilmer County Elementary School Honor Club to go to Kennywood. Is there any further discussion or amendment to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right. To the old policy updates, Dr. Bennett.
For policy 0170, under policy review, the superintendent called to the attention policies that need revisions. The revisions are not non-substantive nature, such as they do not affect the intent of the policy, meaning or operation of the policy or regulation. There's a list there that we have included for some corrections in some of the policies and brief summaries attached. And like most of those corrections are small corrections, maybe even single words, some of them are. And it's just things that Neola has found and recommended for us to fix and go along. So I recommend making a motion to approve the corrected policies as revised by Neola.
So moved.
There's a second. Second. All right. I got a lot on that. Like three other things. Yeah, all right. So we need to have a motion and a second to approve the corrected policies as revised by Neola. Discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. We have no more business that'll lead us into personnel. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session, to discuss personnel that discussed in public may affect the reputation of the employee.
Second.
Right. And there has been properly moved to go to executive session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Tony said I could take what he does.
All right, we have a motion to rise from executive session. Is there a second? All right. I don't know what that exactly. We'll call it. All right, it's been properly second to rise from executive session. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, and then motion carries. Reconvene in open session. We'll start back in personnel, documenting under, professional, or service action.
Under service recommendation, Trenton Heath, substitute custodian. And Johnny Eisenhart, substitute bus operator, 25-26 school year.
Make a motion to approve the service portion of the personnel.
Second.
Okay, we're properly moving and seconded to approve the service portion of the personnel agenda. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Ready? Before moving to extracurricular, I'm going to recuse myself for a family relation. And Mr. Freshour take care of the sub audit.
All right, for our extracurricular portion, I recommend April Jenkins, cook, summer school, Gilmer County Elementary School. Lori McCord, cook, summer school, Gilmer County High School. Barbara Nielsen, itinerant custodian, summer school. Glenn Greathouse, bus operator, summer school. Timothy White, bus operator, summer school. Woodrow McCullough, bus operator, summer school. Heidi Lindsay, summer school secretary, Gilmer County Elementary School. Crystal Smith, program coordinator, Gilmer County Elementary School. Robin Roberts, healthy choices tutor, summer school. Travis Fisher, middle high school teacher, summer academy. Jacob Yoga, middle high school teacher, summer academy. Kelsey Hickman, literacy math tutor, Gilmer County Elementary School. For the summer school, Alicia Bunner, literacy math tutor, Gilmer County Elementary School, summer school. Athena Clark, literacy math tutor, Gilmer County Elementary School, summer school. Christina Lowe, literacy math tutor, Gilmer County Elementary School.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel.
Second.
All right, then moved and seconded, to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel, agenda. Any further discussion?
Yes, so, we got all the summer school, when will we get the numbers and new signups for that? When will we, what we're looking at, kids?
We'll start working on that, mid-April.
Will April? I've seen people just ask, so.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Hey, you gotta make the motion up.
All right. Don't have any continuous improvements. That'll lead us into the superintendent's update document.
All right, I just want to say, thank you and, congratulations to Gilmer County High School. They are building a lot of good programs. They're working hard. Mr. Payne and Mr. Fox, they're doing a great job. We've got a lot of changes coming up for the new year. We're working on a new schedule. We're working on a whole lot of different incentives for our students. You see programs like Mastery Prep that are digging down into our standard to try to increase our SAT scores. So I really appreciate that, that hard work. Just a reminder, April 14th is going to be our personnel meeting. April 15th, laying the levy at Calhoun, Gilmer Career Center. One thing I wanted to talk about tonight is Senate Bill 705 or House Bill 2755. And just to give you guys a heads up to be watching this, and if you want to contact our delegates, I think they've been giving us advice through our superintendent's group to do that, and some superintendents have been doing that. But this bill, if you remember a few years ago, Amendment 4, they gave the legislature the right to basically write our policy for education. Instead of the laws, they'd actually physically write the policy for education. And that was unconstitutional. That's why they had to do the amendment. Well, the amendment failed. It failed in 50 of the 55 counties. This kind of opposition to Senate Bill 705, this Senate bill is written to give the legislature the authority to write our West Virginia Department of Education, State Board of Education policy. On top of writing West Virginia code, they would have all of the access to the, and it, you know, a lot of people say it's unconstitutional, that's why they had to run the amendment, which failed. So if you hear anybody speaking about it, you'll know what they're meaning, that is Senate Bill 705, Bill 2755. And if you can speak to your local folks about opposing that. And like I said, it passed by 68% percentage in Gilmer County when they ran the amendment. There were 68 people against providing that type of oversight to the legislature. So just to give you an update, that's one to be looking for. And we're getting really close to crossover day. It's April 2nd. And that is going to give me a good idea about personnel, which I, sent letters out and things earlier, but I'm going to have a little bit more knowledge about personnel soon. So we should know pretty close where we're at by the 14th meeting. That's all I've got.
Ready? We believe they can board member comment. Start with Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Yocum, good job today. Thank you very much. Mr. Payne, Mr. Cox, thanks for having us up at your school. The place looks great. Presentation, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You seems like you built a good team here. You got a good team. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Fresh.
Good, thanks for the presentation, appreciate it. Speaking of bills, I know we've had other bills that have been brought up. One that's kind of, I think is sort of tabled for now, but one to keep in mind is, I think it's 3387, which is another similar to the one that we had talked about when we passed a resolution about, which is combining school districts into a single regional school district. So this is another bill that's like that. This would be a pilot program. I think it's called out for this other one to watch. To take the power away from the people that got passed.
Dr. Mellon.
Thank you for the presentation this evening. I am really excited about the progress that we're making in the high school, and I'm excited about progress in the middle school, and I think these kids will have much more opportunity than my girls did, and that makes me real happy that we've made a difference in the last couple of years.
Mr. Barton.
Well, I'll say again, like I said, thanks, sir, and ladies, people who are running today, really appreciated the presentation. And I'd like to thank Dr. Minnie for bringing the gym kids to the Career Center last week and having them perform to retired teachers. That was phenomenal. It was greatly appreciated. And speaking of the Career Center, we had some kids that we recognized this evening. We have 4 more. They competed over the weekend, and they were 1,600 kids that showed up for this competition, and basically it was in Harrison County. There were 109 categories. We have a second in, which was a silver award winner for technology networking. That was Ryan Ferris. We have a second in IT support, which was Dustin Harper. And we have a third place, which is a bronze for tactical response group. Some of these ladies on this team are from Gilmer County. But the team was composed of Katie Dooley, Johanna Eckert, which is Gilmer County, Malia Pierce S., and Bailey Poling, which is from Gilmer County. So we did quite well. We have 4 more to recognize when we get a chance. But also on the 3rd of April, which is this Thursday, they're having an open house. They're having one at 10:30 where you can go in, and then at 12:30. That way they get both groups of, parents get a chance to be there, so if we were free, we got to see that. And like you said, there were 1,600 kids that were at this competition, and the support staff at the Career Center, particularly Shannon, had a lot of logistics to have to deal with to get those kids there, get them money, get them their rooms, transportation to get them there, because they were going back and forth from there to here. And thanks to all the staff that were there that helped make that possible.
What a great thing to be.
Yeah, we're getting on the ring.
All right, I won't take as long just to finish everybody up. Thank you, Mr. Fox, Mr. Payne, Mr. Yocum. Presentation was great this evening. I think we're doing great things. We can see progress. It's always good. Again, like Mr. Fresher said, stay in tune with the legislative session, while it finishes up and see what crazy things or not helpful things come out of that. Probably more crazy than helpful. But, again, it's just something to pay attention to. All I have, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Right?
Who's second?
Adjourn meeting, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
You can have any of that, because I can always give them a public. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna ask. Oh, they're working on my part.